Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. They'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
arrived. To demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Today, changes are in the air because we have moved from the sign of Cancer into the new sun sign of Leo right here. Actually, the transition hasn't completed itself yet. 4:41 p.m. is when it happens, so we're just seeing the very tail end of the Cancerian energy, and it will be wrapping itself up in the next couple hours. Our moon sign is in Gemini, so what we're looking at right now is we are still in a water sign for the sun sign for a few more hours, and we're going from water to fire. From water to fire. So water is feelings, fire is ideas. Okay? So remember how yesterday I was telling you that the Sephira and how one energy from the next evolves to the next process? Well, you look at all things in the same way. With astrology, the same thing. We look at the energy we've just come out of. We've come out of Cancer. The energy of Cancer, we're leaving this today. Cancer's a water sign. Water's all about feelings. So we've been dealing in this phase of feelings. Now we're going to take those feelings, what has accumulated in our thoughts from all of these feelings, and we're going to take them to the next phase, which is Leo, which is ideas, creativity. And we're going to see how we can now process all of these feelings that we had going on with us over the course of this last month. See if we can process them through the Leo. Leo, keyword, righteousness. So if we can find the right useness of these energies. Because we get a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of things we could express. There's different ways we can express them. So that's what we're doing. We're progressing to the next phase of expression. So we're going to have a Leo sun sign coming up and a moon sign in Gemini, air sign. So Gemini is all about communication. So our underlying energy, that unconscious wants to communicate. Well, the conscious mind is just getting ready to go from feelings and emotions into a place where it's now all fiery ideas. But remember, right when you make that change, right at that cusp or the border, there's a lot of similarity. You're still kind of feeling one energy as it bleeds over into the next, and right when you get to the edge, you're feeling the pre-effect of the energy coming before it, after it. So those two energies merge and blend together right at the border. And then as you move further away from the border area, because what you have is this. There's 12 houses of the zodiac. Each of these houses, imagine dividing them into 3. Okay, the first third, second third, last third. And what you do is you look at, as you're coming out of one energy, from one house into the next, you're looking at that energy, how the first part is affected. The first part of is going to be affected by the energies coming in from what you were experiencing as you in the previous house. And then as you go further and further away from that first degree, second degree, third degree, as you start to move away from the edge, more towards the middle of that house, you're now getting purely into what that house is all about. And then as you get to the last couple degrees of the house itself, and I told you divide into 3, just think of the 30 degrees, individual ones. As you get to the last degree, couple degrees, you start to feel the effect of the next house. And that's how it is. There's always this bleed over effect, right, as you get to the edges of a couple of degrees, on either side. Okay? So just thought I'd mention that so you understand as we go through the zodiac and as you're looking, just because you get to the next sign doesn't mean it automatically cuts off the one before it. You're still going to feel that for a period of time because, for example, today, you know how when you have feelings and emotions, sometimes you just can't cut them off. Sometimes they linger on a little bit as we get into the next phase. And as you get into the next phase, part of the reason of them changing is you're starting to feel a changing in the seasons. You're starting to feel the ideas are formulating. And so that naturally takes you into the next phase. So a lot of these things will naturally occur as we allow them to. Okay? So this afternoon, we've got the moon or sun sign moving into Leo. We have a couple aspects to look at later on. Shortly after that, first one here we're going to look at tonight is between Uranus, this sign right here, and the moon sign of Gemini. So our communication is going to meet up with some unexpected changes. Okay? Unexpected changes that take place in the way we communicate. Maybe decide to express ourselves in a different way. I don't know. We all find out together. But it's a nice positive thing that occurs when you have a sextile. And then tonight, there's a lesson that goes on between Gemini, the moon sign, and Chiron, the wounded healer. So the wounded healer is somebody who has been wounded but continues on. It relates to the story of Hephaestus, who was the god that was not really the best looking of the gods, but he was very skilled and talented in his craft. And so he found favor with many of the gods who he would do things for, but nonetheless he wasn't the best looking. He was considered the wounded god. He's representative of Chiron, the wounded healer, and so we all find within ourselves that wounded healer exists. So the lesson tonight is learning how to communicate and bring that forward. And we're going to have to come up against a wall to get to that lesson, okay? So just be ready for that tonight. The numerology for today, number 9. Here's how we arrived at the number 9. 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 all together equals an 18. 1 plus 8 equals a 9. There's our numerology for today. So the 9, we know, is the last of the single numbers. So things are getting ready to change, another cycle. 9 is a number of the hermit. Hermit is the one who holds the lantern high. So at the 9, we've come to the place where we've gained enough wisdom that now we are going to show others how to get to the same place where we got. That's what the 9 is all about. Okay? The 9 is all about that. It's associated with Virgo, which is analyzing where we've been, the lessons we've learned, the things we've experienced. Okay, so let's take a further look now at where the placement of these things are here on the tree. So we see our number 9 right here, our numerology coming from Mercy to back to the heart. We see our current sun sign right here is in Cancer, but it's going to change. It's going to go down here now. It's going to be this sign across the middle here. Leo, strength, which comes between Mercy and Severity. And our moon sign for today is Gemini, coming down from Understanding, going back to the heart. Alright, we're going to take a look at the Strength card here because, again, repetition is very important. So going over each one of these will just help you to understand a bit more. And I would venture to say, not only that, but when you go over each card, you'll learn more about each card. You'll understand a little bit deeper about what is going on. So that's why it's good. You'll see things that you didn't see before. Okay, Strength. This card has a very profound esoteric significance. It is a representation of the great cosmic force which Madame Blavatsky called Fohat. This force in the human organism is called Kundalini, the serpent power. There are a number of systems which attempt to tell the unwary student of how to awaken to sleeping Kundalini. They are too often successful, and the results for their misguided efforts are human wrecks and derelicts, people driven to madness and obsession. For the fact is that the Kundalini is a real force and is as powerful in destruction as it is in integration. Every person automatically receives the instruction he needs to awaken to Kundalini when the time comes for that awakening. In the meantime, listen to no one who tells you that he or she can help you to unfold powers by setting the serpent force in action. Such practices are the most dangerous known to man. The proper way to prepare yourself for the time when you do such thing safely is to learn how to control your body, your mind, and your emotions. When you have done this, you will know what the next step is. Kundalini is not a force to be feared. You really use it every day of your life, but you use it naturally and without giving it conscious attention. For even in its latent state, it is the force behind our activities. It is automatically controlled by subconscious. Subconsciousness is the woman in Key 8, and she has the lion in complete control. Because tarot works by giving suggestions to the subconscious, it works automatically towards the expansion of consciousness that makes for an ever greater control over continually increasing powers of personality. The other symbolism in the key has been explained elsewhere. Hebrew letter is tet, and it means serpent. So, with this card, one of the things, it's very important to understand what this is about. Righteousness. Righteousness or right useness of the energy available. Now it talks about the Kundalini. This is very important because this is what it's directly speaking about. The right useness of the Kundalini energy. The Kundalini energy is energy that resides at the bottom of our spine. Serpent is the symbol that represents that. And what happens is this energy rises from the lower chakra all the way through our body. The idea is it's supposed to move through all of the various chakras. If the chakras are cleansed properly, then the Kundalini can move right through, and there's a lot of insight that is gained. However, if the chakras are not balanced properly and there is this energy flow going through, the body's not able to handle that energy in that way. Think of like an electrical circuit. Okay? If the circuit's not put together properly, if the chakras, if the systems of electrical exchange aren't properly calibrated, then there's going to be a problem. Well, that's what's going on here. Now, the Kundalini energy can be responsible for some real confusion in individuals, especially if it's activated and the chakras aren't cleansed and it's going through the body and there's all kind of chaos and craziness that's going on. But if one prepares oneself, then one can be ready for when the Kundalini energy does rise. Meditation is the best and safest way to go about this happening, because then it happens naturally. And as was said in the reading, your body's already been programmed for this before you came in, to understand that there will be a time when releasing this energy will be important. But before you do, you need to be able to handle that amount of energy. For it doesn't do any good to be able to release a great amount of energy in your body and then not be able to handle it. That just wouldn't make any sense at all. Okay? So, we're going to go on from strength to the moon phase for today. We're 17% of the way full. We're making our way to the new moon, which will be by the end of this week. Up in the sky tonight, today's 22nd, we're going to look straight up from the moon and we'll see the Pleiades above. Aldebaran will be just to the right, a little lower right there. You see Orion down lower underneath. It says Vega is the brightest star, very high in the east. Far down to its lower right shines Altair, almost as bright. Altair is flagged but a little tased, little Tarazed. A finger width above it, an orange giant star far in Altair's background. Okay? So this must be the Vega right there. It's not labeled, but it said be the highest one up. Alright, so that's what you're looking for, looking east. The Mayan Oracle today, we have a 5-tone day. 5 is called the overtone. It's where everything radiates out. Think of a circle and all energies radiating out in all directions. We're at the theme of the dragon, which is birth. Here we're at the life force energy radiating outward, so we've had the birth. We've gone through the inspiration. We've expressed it through our subconscious. We've planted the seed, and now we're experiencing the life force energy, how we use our energy to move forward. The phrase for today is, I empower in order to survive, commanding instinct. I seal the store of life force with the overtone, tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of space. Spaceweather.com, our solar wind is 346.0 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is quiet, 1 to 2 range. Coronal holes are not much, but we look like we do have something here forming. We'll see how this unfolds over the next couple days. M-class and X-class flares are both down at 1%, and geomagnetic storm activity is dropping pretty low. This was up in the 20s, 25s, and now we're down to 15 and 10. And over on the Jewish calendar, right here, today is 24 Tammuz. We're still in the 3-week period of time of mourning. Just a reminder, this was the 3 weeks from the 17th of Tammuz to the 9th of Av. And this was commemorating the conquest of Jerusalem, the destruction of the Holy Temple, and the dispersion of the Jewish people. Daily thought. There are no things. There are only words. The divine words of creation telling a story, calling all into being. The words become scattered and we no longer understand their meaning. They appear to us static and meaningless as things, but they are not things. They are words in exile. If so, the redemption lies in the story we tell with them. Joy can create one story, inspiration yet another. Reach to the divine spark within you and a whole new story emerges. What story will you tell with the scattered fragments of your life? It's a good question. We all have a story within us to tell. So all we have to do is tell it. There you go. UFO news is up next. Let's get to it.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. First story takes us up to the sun. Giant UFO harvests energy from our sun. This was on the 21st, yesterday. We have links right here to the source images over at Soho. So you can see they're coming from a official source. Okay, you got that bright light above the sun there. This giant UFO was recorded by Soho over the sun yesterday. It shows a massive disk over the sun, and if you're looking carefully, you will see a small stream of energy twisting and going up to the UFO. They are harvesting energy from the sun. Aliens may have high tech, but advanced civilizations with advanced tech has extremely high energy demands to meet. This is one way to get to meet the need. Okay. So this is the current image from the LASCO C3. It shows Jupiter to the left of the Sun. It is too far away to be causing this anomaly. Jupiter is 500 million miles behind the Sun also. Okay. Alright, let's just kind of zip through here. There it is right up above. Okay. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? And different filters. These are all Soho images. But there was something up there. And I'm sure that we're going to, if this ever makes it to the mainstream, they'll laugh and they'll say it was something else. The sun burped and this was a burp bubble, or, you know, something like that. Okay, moving on. Next, we're going to look at this hole that was in Siberia. Remember this one? That giant hole just appeared in the ground. Well, there's an update. See, it says plus update. Okay, big hole. Big opening has been discovered in northern Siberia, a place already labeled by locals as the end of the world. Nobody can explain where it was originated and how deep. It specifically appeared in Yami Peninsula and is about 80 meters wide. The sinkhole could be the widest ever spotted and could also be the deepest the world has ever recorded. The phenomena brings different speculations, including crashed UFO, sinkhole, global warming, and meteorite hitting the Earth. The crater is large enough for an M1 helicopter to fit in it. Excuse me, Mi-8 helicopters to fit in it. Yamal authorities already recognize their expedition that will include one expert from Cryosphere Institute of the Russian Academy of Sciences, and 2 from the Center for the Study of the Arctic. They plan to examine the water, air, and soil from the area along with specialists from the emergencies ministries. The meteorite is ruled out as a cause of the large hole, but experts admit that it is very early to conclude about it. Pilots working for the gas company near the gigantic hole captured a video that shows a deep tunnel structure wherein the hole is surrounded by soil. Initially, the footage was believed to be fake, but the phenomena was proven to be real. It is believed that the hole formed about 2 years ago. So you've certainly seen this. And as we can see, it goes way down. Big hole. Okay? And the update here says the crater is about 75 meters deep and has an ice lake at the bottom. Russian scientist Andrei Plekhanov said the satellite mapping imagery is showing this was formed in the last year or two and is believed to be caused by rising temperatures of the sea. Okay, let's look here. And here we are going over it to get a better look. This is a 3-minute, 17-second video. There they are, approaching the hole. Okay, I'm just going to zip through here. Okay, so you can see a little bit better inside of it. Looks kind of pretty weird, pretty strange. Okay, so the video and the link and the story is available for you. Let's see if we get one more. Okay. So there are no signs of something burnt or charred, just a mechanic splash. Of course, we can suppose something fantastic. Okay. So I'm going to leave this available so you can check it out. Quite interesting story. Next, we're going to move on here. Amazing spheres with strange beings inside. There's the spheres, and you can see inside. Interesting video about strange recordings of some kind of spheres of UFOs with some kind of alien beings inside. These 2 cases happened in Russia and one in Brazil. Here we have a 4-minute, 13-second video. Jaime Maussan talking about this event. There we go. These come from a few years ago. You can see 2009. But there's something in it, and it appears to be moving. Very interesting. I don't think I've seen one of these before. But you know what is interesting? If you, well, no. I was going to say these are kind of like those paintings that we've seen from the medieval times, but those weren't quite circular. They all had like a pointed edge to them. But very interesting because they all did show something inside, so maybe similar. All right, we're going to move on. Here we have a crop circle formed, and a woman that apparently witnessed it said the woman said she had been left freaked right out after she saw a strange light in the sky, then heard that not only had a friend seen it too and photographed it, but that the mysterious crop circle had been discovered the following morning. Joe Webb said she and her friend Lisa Wilcox were returning home to Malmesbury from an evening trip to Cirencester on the first Monday night of July when she saw the strange light in the sky. I was driving and I spotted a bright orange light in the sky to the right of an angle of about 45 degrees. We were driving down A429, just approaching the Charlton Park Estate, and it was away to the southwest. It looked like something exploded in the sky, really bright and fiery. I was looking at it as best as I could while driving. It wasn't moving away, and there was for a while, and I looked at the road, looked back, and it just vanished completely. It was really weird. We didn't know what it was, but then the weirdest thing happened. A week later, discovered that the morning after we saw the light, a crop circle was discovered in the fields nearby. Crop circle has been assessed by crop circle devotees and was just discovered in the field to the east where Joe saw the light. Alright, so perhaps this was something she caught right away. The link's available, so you can check it out. Okay, here we move over to Decorated War Hero photographs UFO over SWANSEA. Paranormal Chronicles have received an intriguing photograph and report from SWANSEA, a resident who claims to have seen a large identified object from his bedroom window. Mr. P. Lewis captured the image in the early morning of Monday the 21st of July. Mr. P. Lewis, a decorated ex-soldier, had this testimonial. I woke around 4:30 hours. It was very hot in my bedroom. I opened the window and noticed a strange stationary object hovering above SWANSEA. I would say that it was over the limitless area. The object made no noise, and my first notion was perhaps it was an exceptionally large bird of prey. However, the object remained stationary for at least 5 minutes. I thought it was strange, and it seemed to have something hanging below it, so I grabbed my phone, took several pictures of it. The whole time the object made no movement and no sound. I must have watched it for 7 minutes in total. My young son woke up, and by the time I had settled him down and returned to the window, the object was gone. Okay, link's available. You can check it out. Here's where the sighting was. Now we have a quick story here and then a video that goes with it, a 52-minute video. ET contactee says positive ETs are here to assist our dimensional ascension. An Exopolitics TV interview with Alfred Lambre Wabre from Adelaide, South Australia. ET contactee Dermont Kelly spoke of his personal ET contacts and his insights that advanced positive extraterrestrial civilizations are here to assist with our dimensional ascension from a time-spaced third dimension service to self. Civilization to a civilization with more expanded consciousness of service to others and a connection to a higher dimensions and a population organized omniverse. Okay, click on this video link here and there you go to the video. Video is 52 minutes in length, so you can watch it, but it's a good video. Check it out. And last, the legend of the underground reptilian city of Los Angeles. During the golden age of pirates and treasure hunters of the year 1800s, maps became precious and significant to point out their exact locations of hidden, buried, and sunken valuable artifacts and wealth of magnificent proportions. On January 29, 1934, a perfect resemblance of the Hollywood film Indiana Jones, a national treasure, had surfaced along with the legend of a fearsome creature that is said to dwell the earth inside underground city in downtown Los Angeles. Here's a copy of the article. Lizard People's Catacomb City Hunted. Engineer sinks shaft under Fort Moore Hill to find a mass of tunnels and priceless treasures of legendary inhabitants. It says a mining engineer named G. Warren Schulfit allegedly met a wise old Hopi man named Little Chief Greenleaf who told him of an ancient city of the lizard people, or the reptilians as we know them today. According to Little Chief, the ancient reptilian race, who are highly intelligent, scientifically advanced than modern humans, have taken refuge under hidden cities around the Pacific coast, one in Los Angeles, another in Mount Shasta. Together with these ambiguous beings were mammoth quantities of treasures, gold, and other valuable, which lies hundreds of feet below. The busy and unsuspecting city did not know about this until Little Chief relates the story to Schufelt. The same year, Schufelt and a small crew made efforts to map the underground tunnels using the radio X-ray, and so the legend of the lizard people has begun. A lot more to the article. I'm going to leave it for you to explore. to see what more there is to the lizards and the reptilian caves. That is our UFO news for today. I'll be right back, and we're going to continue on. So stay tuned. Don't go away. Here we go. This is Confirm or Deny. Keep you busy for a few moments.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Underground is where they live. In the bases that are secrets here. We're not supposed to know where they come from or where they go.
Alright. Well, from the last article, we think we know where they go. Under Los Angeles, right? Alright, here is... We're going to continue on with the Book of Enoch. We're going to look at this for a while. On Tuesdays, we went through chapters 1 through 9 last time. So where we last led off, just a refresher here. Last thing was Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel. They look down, they hear the people crying because of all the injustices going on, of the fallen angels who have come, who have defiled themselves with the women. They bore the giants. Okay? So now we're going to move on to chapter 10. And then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One, spake and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah, and tell him my name. Hide thyself, and reveal to him that the end that is approaching, that the whole world will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and that his seed may be preserved for all generations of the world. And again the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudiel, and cast him therein, and place upon him a rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he might not see light. And in the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, and that they may heal the plague, and all the children of men may not perish, though all the secret things of the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons, and the whole earth has been corrupted, and the whole through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel said the Lord, proceeded against the bastards and the reprobates, and all against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication, the children of the watchers from amongst the men. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle, for length of days shall not have, and no request that they make of these shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf, for they hope to live in eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, Go bound Simyaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with all of their uncleanliness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till all the days of their judgment, and all of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment and the prison, which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let every plant of righteousness and truth appear. And it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then all the righteousness escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. And then the whole earth be tiled in righteousness, and shall be planted with trees and full of blessing, and all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vine which the plant thereon shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, in each measure of it shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. And cleanse thy earth from all the oppression, and from all the unrighteousness, from all the sins, from all the godlessness, all the uncleanliness that is wrought upon the earth, destroy from all of the earth. And all the children of men became righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me. And all shall worship me, and the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, from all sin, from all punishment, from all torment, and I will never again send them upon it from generation to generation forever. 11. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessing which are in the heaven, so as to send them down upon the earth over the work of the labor of the children of men. And truth and peace shall be associated together throughout all of the days of the world, through all the generations of men. Before these things Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of the men knew where he was hidden, and where he abode, and what had become of him. And his activities had to do with the watchers, and his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, and lo, the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of righteousness, go, declare to the watchers of the heaven, who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as children of the earth do, and have taken unto themselves wives, ye have wrought great destruction on the earth, and ye shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin, inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children. The murder of their beloved ones they shall they see, and over the destruction of their children shall they lament, and they shall make supplication unto eternity, but mercy and peace shall ye not attain. And Enoch said to Azazel, Thou shalt have no peace. A severe sentence has gone forth against thee to put thee in bonds, and thou shalt have no toleration, nor request granted to thee, because of the unrighteousness which thou hast taught, and because of all the works of godlessness and unrighteousness and sin which thou hast shown to men. Then I went and I spoke with them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they besought me, and drew up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. For from thenceforth they could not speak with him, nor lift their eyes up to heaven, for shame of their sins for which they had been condemned. Then I wrote out the petition and the prayer in regard to their spirits and their deeds individually, and in regard to their request that they should have forgiveness and length of days. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hermon. And I read their petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell down upon me, and I saw visions of chastisement. And a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven, and reprimand them. And when I awakened, I came to them, and they were all sitting together weeping in a Basjil, which is between Lebanon and SWANSEA, with their faces covered. And I recounted before them all the visions which I had seen in the sleep. And I began to speak the words of righteousness, and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. The book of the words of righteousness and the reprimand of the eternal watchers, in accordance with the command of the Holy One in that vision. I saw in my sleep what I will now say with a tongue of flesh, and with the breath of my mouth, which the Great One has given to men, to converse therewith and understand with the heart, as he has created and given to man the power of understanding the word of wisdom, so hath he created me also, and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers, the children of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared thus, that your petition will not be granted unto you throughout all the days of eternity, and that judgment has been finally passed upon you. Yea, your petition will not be granted unto you. And from henceforth you shall not ascend unto heaven until all eternity, and in bonds of the earth the decree has gone forth to bind you for all of the days of the world, and that previously you shall have seen the destruction of your beloved sons, and ye shall have no pleasure in them, but they shall fall before you by the sword, and your petition on behalf shall not be granted, nor yet on your own, even you weep and pray, and you speak all the words containing the writings which I have written. And the vision was shown to me thus. Behold, in the vision clouds invited me, and a mist summoned me, and the course of the stars and the lightning sped and hastened me, and the winds in the vision caused me to fly, and lifted me upward, and bore me into heaven. And I went till I drew nigh to a wall which was built of crystals and surrounded by tongues of fire, and it began to affright me. And I went to the tongues of fire, and drew nigh to a large house which was built of crystals, and the walls of the house were like a tessellated floor made of crystals, and its groundwork was of crystal. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars and the lightnings, and between them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was clear as water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and the portals blazed with fire. And I entered into that house, and it was hot as fire and cold as ice, and there were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling got hold of me. And I quaked and I trembled. I fell upon my face, and beheld the vision. And lo, there was a second house greater than the former, and the entire portal stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire, and in every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificent and extent that I cannot describe it to you, its splendor and its extent. And its floors were of fire, and above it were lightnings, and the path of the stars, and its ceiling was also of flaming fire. And I looked, and I saw therein a lofty throne. Its appearance was as crystal, and the wheels thereof as its shining sun, and there was the vision of cherubim. And from underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so that I could not look thereon. And the great glory sat thereon, and his radiance shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter and could behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. The flaming fire was round about him, and the great fire stood before him, and none around could draw near him. 10,000 times 10,000 before him. Yet he needed no counselor, and the most holy ones were the ones nigh to him, did not leave by night nor depart from him. And until then I had been prostrate on my face, trembling, and the Lord called me with his own mouth, and said to me, Come hither, Enoch, hear my word. And one of the holy ones came to me and waked me, and he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards. And he answered me, and he said to me, I heard his voice, Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice. And go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heavens, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughter of men, and taken yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons? And though ye were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who perish and die. Therefore have I given them wives, also that they might impregnate them and beget children by them, thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as for the spiritual ones of heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. And they shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall be called. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, do work, destruction of the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nonetheless hunger and thirst and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. From the days of the slaughter to destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of the flesh of the spirits having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgments. Thus shall you destroy until the day of the consummation, the great judgment in which the ages shall be consummated over the watchers and the godless, yea, shall be wholly consummated. And now as to the watchers who have sent thee to intercede for them, who had been aforetime in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you, and you knew worthless ones, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have made known to the women, and through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Say to them, you have no peace. And they took, and they brought me to a place in which those who were like the flaming fire, and they wished, and they appeared as men, and they brought me to a place of darkness, to a mountain to the point of the summit reached to the heaven. And I saw a place of the luminaries, and the treasures of the stars, and the thunder, and in the utmost depths were a fiery bow and arrow, and the quivers, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, which was a fire, flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. I saw the great rivers, and I came to a great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of the winter, and the place whence all the waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouths of the deep. Alright, we're going to stop right there. We're going to pick up next time at chapter 18. Okay? So there you go. That is the Book of Enoch. We still have a ways to go with this, but you can see now that Enoch has gotten to the point now where God is giving Enoch the decree to be passed upon those who came down and created the problems on earth, the watchers, the fallen angels. Alright? So there you have it. Let us continue on. This is an article over at In5D. This is an article that says, which life theme did you choose? And it asked this question because we've certainly contemplated and talked about this idea before. When we come into life, when we come into this lifetime, we choose what we're going to do here. So this article is an article that says, according to Sylvia Brown, everyone chooses the particular life theme before incarnating to this planet. This serves as a template for your life path and will provide various challenges along the way. Which life theme did you choose? The following is an excerpt from Sylvia Brown's book, My Guide, Myself. So here's all the different ones you could look at here. I'm not going to read through each one because there's quite a lengthy list here. Let me just read through. These are all the different roles that someone might take on. Theme. We have the activator, aesthetic pursuits, analyzer, banner carrier, builder, catalyst, cause fighter, controller, emotionality, experiencer, fallibility, follower, harmony, healer, humanitarian, infallibility, intellectuality, irritant, justice, lawlessness, leader, loner, loser, manipulator, passivity, patience, pawn, peacemaker, performance, persecution, persecutor, poverty, psychic, rejection, rescuer, responsibility, spirituality, survival, temperance, tolerance, victim, victimizer, warrior, winner. Okay. It says Sylvia Brown did an amazing job compiling these life themes. Personally, I could identify with many of them and wonder if that is a sign of being an old soul. Ultimately, I could boil them down to 2 or 3 themes, although I'm still not sure which are the ones I'm on, I wonder if it's possible to have more than one on any given particular incarnation. Okay, so read through the list, see if it makes sense to you, because what that is look, we're all down here trying to figure out why we're here. Some of us are here because we heard the call, we volunteered. Some of us are here because we needed to be here to learn some lessons. It wasn't receiving the call, but just knowing that this was a place to be for soul growth. Whatever the case may be, we're all here, we're all playing a game, a play. You know, Shakespeare once said, all the world is indeed a play, and we are merely players. So if that's the case, then it's quite possible that there is a script writer who scripted out all of that is going on down here on Earth. And if that's the case, that there is a great play going on and we're all part of it, it's very important that we know what our role is, for a very basic reason. Let's say that your role has you coming out in the second act, but you jump out on stage in the first act. Everyone's going to look at you wondering, what are you doing? Haven't you read your script? You don't come out to the second act. What are you doing out here? So in order for us to be able to participate in this great play of life, we need to understand what our roles are, and we need to understand when it is that we enter the stage, because we don't want to jump on stage if it's not our time, and we don't want to miss our cue if our time either. We want to pay attention, so when it is time for our role, for us to do our part, we're right there, ready to go. And so it's important, and this is a good list. It's a good list to look over, kind of get some ideas. And it all ties in together, whether you're looking at the astrology or the Kabbalah or the Mayan calendar or the Jewish calendar. Whatever you're looking at something to associate to help you understand a bit more of who you are. And this list is a good list to help you with doing that exact thing. All right? All right. So this brings us to our message for today. And today, it's another message from Hilarion. Here we go.
Hilarion.
July 20th through the 27th, 2014, by Marlene Swetleshoff.
Hilarion.
Beloved ones, the people of the world are uniting in greater and greater numbers to stand in the streets to let the leaders of the world know that they are no longer willing to be silent witnesses as they watch senseless destruction of the world's people and their homelands be destroyed. As the powers that be lash out to create fear in the people in order to keep them under control, awakened humanity across the planet are rising up in swelling numbers to create change across the planet. The mainstream news continues to suppress the reporting of the momentous movement of people's protests in major cities of the world, and this has become glaringly clear to the majority of the world's population. The lies, deceptions, and cover-ups from those in power are becoming more obvious in every moment. As the loving energies of the divine feminine flowing onto the planet deepens in intensity, that which is not in alignment with love will stand out in glaring contrast. There really is no place to hide shadow activity any longer. When each person's heart is filled with love, they have the ability to sense and feel deception in another. This is what is occurring now throughout the planet. People are seeing behind the masks into the real motivations of their leaders and what is really happening, and they are demanding the truth. Great subterfuge is afoot in these ones on an unimaginable scale. These activities demand the awakening ones to stand in and speak their truth, for they know at a very deep level that the time of choice to remain asleep is over. The sun's rays are now stronger than before, and it behooves each individual to protect their body by limiting exposure during the intense times of the day and to wear protective sunglasses at all times when outdoors in the daytime. It is better to go out in the early morning to acclimate one's body to the changing weather patterns. The Earth's magnetic field is more depleted, and it requires the human body to take in greater amounts of air in order to fuel their energy levels. Deep breathing exercise each day is very helpful during these times, as it is the magnetic field that radiates energy to all parts of the body through the nerves and nerve relay centers and their branches. It is important to increase the strength of one's magnetic field to bring one's body and mind to the highest level of health and vitality. We ask the awakened ones to continue to stay calm and hold the light during these turbulent times. Your light is much needed now. Look for and recognize the positive traits in others around you and empower these individuals in any way you are guided. Give support to those who risk their well-being by speaking their truth and standing in their light. Spread the message of the new earth reality to all who are ready to receive. It is in these times as you stand in the eye of the storm that you can direct uplifting, loving and compassionate energy and thoughts to your brothers and sisters as they come to terms with the revelations of the awakening process. For each soul who is experiencing physical expression, it is the action of struggle and effort which reveals to each their own unique gifts and qualities of spirit. When they cease to resist the inflow of opposing energies which bring greater light into their being, the journey of discovery becomes a journey into realities that were not available for exploration before. It is important to keep the faith and keep the forward momentum flowing and to remember that the entire universe is supporting each one during these times. The repertoire of higher dimensional beings that stand with each awakened human is greater than ever before. Accept the love and guidance that they bring to stay in balance and equilibrium. No one during these times walks their path alone. Until next week. I am Hilarion.
Alright, good message from Hilarion, which brings us to our meditation for today. So go ahead and let's prepare for this. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. And another deep breath. And exhale. And continue to breathe in and exhale. And as you breathe in and out, let's imagine that this breath is going to each and every chakra. And it's filling that chakra with energy. So let's imagine the base chakra, the one at the bottom of the spine. The color is red. Let's imagine the energy of your breath flowing into this chakra, and the chakra energy mixing with this fresh breath that comes in. And just see this energy, feel this energy at the bottom of your spine moving clockwise and counterclockwise. Feel it open and close. And feel its receptiveness to the energy of change that is taking place around us. And now let the energy move up to the chakra above it, right around the belly button, and the color is orange. This is the emotional body. Go ahead and just allow your breath that you're taking in to mix with the energy of that chakra, and go ahead and see that chakra cleansing and clearing out. Feel the energy moving both clockwise and counterclockwise. Feel the energy moving in and out. And then let the energy move up higher to the chakra above it, just below the rib cage. Therefore, imagine the color yellow. This is our intellectual body. As you breathe, feel the energy of your breath mixing with that energy of that chakra, and feel the chakra moving clockwise and counterclockwise. Feel the chakra energy moving in and out. And then let the energy raise up higher to the heart chakra, and there imagine the color green. Feel the breath coming in, mixing with the energy of the chakra, and feel the energy moving clockwise and counterclockwise, in and out. And from the green heart chakra, see the energy moving up higher to the throat. And at the throat, feel the breath as you're inhaling, mixing with that throat chakra. The color is blue. And imagine the energy moving clockwise and then counterclockwise and in and out all at the same time. And then feel the energy moving up higher to the third eye, right between the two eyebrows, and imagine the color indigo. And feel your breath as it mixes with that chakra. And feel the energy moving both clockwise and counterclockwise and in and out all at the same time. And finally, the energy moves to the crown chakra, and therefore you imagine the color violet. And feel the breath going in and mixing as the clockwise and counterclockwise in and out movement of the chakra takes place. And then see the light move continuously up into the cosmos, bright white light. And feel all this energy flowing through your chakra. Feel it moving through. Feel one line of energy moving from the top down through each of the chakras. And then from the bottom up. So you feel this continual flow of energy moving from top to bottom and bottom to top. And as you feel all this energy moving through your body, just imagine your body being attuned to experience more energy. Being tuned to protect your being from the energies around you that are inharmonious with who and what you're about. Feel your personal force field strengthened and the magnetic field around your being strengthened, so that as the energies from the cosmos are absorbed more into the planet, that your being can handle these energies. And just imagine yourself feeling stronger the more that these energies play out in your life. The more that you feel these energies, the stronger you feel. And just imagine going through the world today, simply connecting with energy. Feeling the energies moving through your chakras, feeling the force field around your body. And just work with your interaction with that energy for today. And let that be enough. So let your subconscious mind continue on that journey, it's experiencing, exploring your energy. And let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed. Contemplate the words of this affirmation. I always succeed. And just see those words in your mind's eye. I always succeed. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That's it for today. Thank you very much for being here. Just keep doing the work. Keep doing the practice. Keep learning about your spirit. It doesn't matter that they're out there talking about the wars and the rumors of the wars and all these destructions and all this other nonsense. That's human talk. But God's much bigger than any human. And God's given instructions on how we move through these times. And all we have to do is tune into who we are. Tune into the energy that we are. Remember, when all is said and done, the wicked and the ungodly are going to be removed. It's not the ones who are doing God's will, not the ones who are doing good that are going to have a problem. It's all those who are causing problems that are going to have the problem. So just keep doing good. Just keep strengthening your body, strengthening your energetic fields, and encourage others around you to do the same. You don't have to do it with words. You can just do it through your own actions and let them follow the example. That's it for today, my friends. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and information. Tomorrow we're going to get into our discussion of Atlantis, which we'll be doing on Wednesdays. So look forward to that. Till then, I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.